So I tell people, they're like, "What do you do?" They see me out in my yard all day. Um, I don't go to work. They never see me anywhere outside of my garden, and they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I do some healing work with people. I trade Bitcoin. Um, I trade crypto, whatever." And they always say the same thing. They're like, "Oh, you must have gotten destroyed." And I'm like, "Well, not if you know how to short, right? The biggest opportunities are just in being financially literate, right? And so part of financial literacy and learning how to trade, even though you can be very educated, um, like many people are, they still can be financially illiterate. And that is one of the big problems that we're facing, and why in the upcoming recession, so many people, they're going to be set back years. And so, to the few people this reaches, I just want to give you a little bit of education and an idea of things you can look at for yourself that will help guide you through the upcoming recession, through the how to trade Bitcoin, how to stay afloat during all of this, because huge opportunities are going to be there, huge. And so I have this list here. It's an econ list, and basically what this will do is this shows me, for example, here, commercial and industrial loans, right? This will tell me what's going on with the banks, right? You can see commercial loans are up, that kind of thing. So it's very broad-based, and usually done quarterly. These are not daily charts, right? So I'm looking through that today, and I come across global price index of all commodities, okay? And so that means in the entire world, how are all commodities trading? Commodities are things like wheat and oil, okay? So you can go over here. This is economic research. This is from the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund. So you can see it's, all legit information. And then I go over here to TradingView so I can see the chart easier, right? So what I'm looking at, and macroeconomics, being financially literate, understanding what is going on in the world, is, going to bring you peace of mind, and also be able to bring you the opportunities that other people are going to miss. And so just a few things to take note of on this chart. January 08, okay. April of 11, okay. You see these big moves here. Okay, so let's just take a little measurement. So you saw an 85%. Now this is a time of war, that kind of thing. You could see the spike, right? And then it comes right back down, etc. So most of what people are used to paying for these global commodities is over the past decade. That's what you've become accustomed to. And what caught my eye was, one, it said up 7.77%, and that's on the quarter, right? So it's not on a daily, it's on a quarter. Okay, so that's important to understand. And what I want to point out here is that in April of 2020, we were here, global price of commodities, and the measured move to where we're at today is 141%. Global price index of all commodities, right? No conspiracy, no bullshit, IMF information. 2020, here's the chart, here's where you are today. You are up 141% on commodities. Okay, so having that information will help to prepare you for what is coming. And the idea here is that what I recognize, the importance of this, is that no economist, no one on the news, no person has ever lived through this, okay? When you're talking about a move of 21% over what looks like less than a year, okay, with no end in sight on a global scale, and commodities that affect everything, right? Commodities, gas, oil, wheat, these corn, right? The products that make products. When you see 141% up since 2020, that's in 2 years. No economist, no politician is going to be able to tell you what to do. You have to know it for yourself. You have to be able to see it for yourself, right? And so that's why I'm pointing it out today. And maybe I'll do another chart, but it's not for me to draw a conclusion and say, oh, you know, the world's going to end. It's for me to show you the reality, right? There's all these, whether it's depending on your point of view on the world, like there's the conspiracy stuff, which I love, and a lot of it's true. There is, you know, the CNN crowd. It really doesn't matter in that way, because that's why I'm showing this to you, because this number right here, 141.63, that's a fact from the IMF, which, if you know anything about it, if there is a global conspiracy, they're certainly involved. So they would be on the light side of this number, put it that way, right? It could be much higher than that. But even with that said, it doesn't matter. Here's your real number. This is what you're dealing with. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. These macro things, and it's just in conclusion. So, you know, in America, because you're not an emerging market, you don't, you know, you get hit with a gas bill, or you get hit with, you know, the cost of food going up. But if you're in a emerging market, this is crushing you. And we just don't get it in the news. It's the story that's not being told. All over the world, right now, there's countries that are in revolution. You just don't see it reported on the news because it doesn't fit with the narrative. But these are facts. These are not, this isn't an opinion. This is a fact. Okay, so, you know, make use of the information and then draw your own conclusions. But I just want to bring your attention to this fact. Global price index of all commodities up 141% in 2 years. What do you think happens to Bitcoin? You know, you're trying to trade Bitcoin. You're trying to, you know, trade crypto when commodities are up 141%. Why do you think I've got a short ETF position that I will hold? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, that's that.